Hi, my name is Alex. Today I'm going to show you the power of running Docker Swarm on top of the Cloudistics Ignite platform. Before we get started, it is important to understand two key concepts of Docker Swarm. First are Swarm managers. Swarm managers handle scheduling and balancing containers across the cluster. Next are Swarm workers. They handle running these containers and report status back to Swarm managers. To get started, we're going to log into the Cloudistics dashboard and select New Instance, Install from Template, and we're going to see a list of templates available inside the Cloudistics Marketplace. On top, we'll see Docker 112. This template contains Docker 112, the Cloudistics guest agent, as well as the Cloudistics volume driver already configured for us. We're going to select New Instance, give our instance a name, a description, select which virtual data center, as well as migration zone we will run this instance in. We'll allocate resources and mount two disks. First is the boot disk. Second is the Docker disk. The Docker disk will be used for dynamically creating volumes on the fly. I've already gone ahead and created our three instances. First is a Swarm manager, next Swarm worker, and another Swarm worker. Let's switch over to those now. As you can see, I've already provisioned the cluster and joined the workers to the manager. Today, we're going to be showing off a web application that is able to move seamlessly between workers in the cluster with that web application stored inside of a Docker volume. That volume is backed by the Ignite Elastic Block Flash Storage service. I had stored my web application inside of the My Demo app volume. As you can see, it's backed by the Cloudistics driver. To show what's going on underneath the hood of Swarm while we're showing off this demo, I'm going to use the Docker Swarm visualizer. You may recognize this from many DockerCon presentations. To get started, we're going to launch our web application using Nginx, backed by our volume. Before I run this command, let's break it down. We're going to create a new service called My App. We're going to mount a volume to user share Nginx HTML inside the container from our My Demo app volume backed by the Cloudistics driver. We're going to publish port 8081 on the host, which is mapped to port 80 inside the container. We're going to add a constraint so that this workload will only run on workers inside the cluster. We're going to use Nginx latest and run Nginx daemon auth command. Great. As you can see, Docker Swarm has started executing our service. If we switch back to the visualizer, you'll see that Docker Swarm has scheduled our container on Swarm Worker 2. Let's view our application now. Great. We're up and running. However, now I want to perform some maintenance on Swarm Worker 2, so I need to move all the workloads over to Swarm Worker 1. To do that, I'm going to drain Swarm Worker 2 of all of its workloads. Docker node update the availability of Swarm Worker 2. Now what we'll see is Swarm has already started removing those workloads and moving them over to Swarm Worker 1. We should see our service started soon. Yep, there it is. Great. Now we can perform our maintenance on Swarm Worker 2. Our maintenance is done. Let's restart Docker. And now we'll bring this node back online. So our web application, backed by a volume containing some data, in this case our web application, this could be a database, this could be static files. But our application and the platform is resilient enough to move this workload between nodes without any loss of data. In the next scenario, we're going to simulate an outage by stopping the Docker daemon on one of the nodes. Docker Swarm will notice that this node is no longer responding to pings and seamlessly reschedule our containers and volumes to the other node. So let's switch back to our visualizer. We'll see that our application is running on Swarm Worker 1. simulate the outage, I'm going to stop the Docker daemon on Swarm Worker 1. Switch back to the visualizer. We should see Swarm Worker 1 turn red, and the container seamlessly move over to Swarm Worker 2. Great. This shows the power of a volume driver inside of a private data center. We have unlocked our storage from being constrained to the host, and it allowed the platform to provide the storage directly into the container. We also get the added performance benefits of the Cloudistics Super Converged platform. Thanks.